Hello, students. Greetings to you all in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I believe you're all safe, and I really appreciate those who have submitted your assignments and who took the online test. The marks of your online test is given here right in this video, almost towards the end of the session. Now, this is our fourth video session, and we have been discussing chapter 3, and the name of the chapter is Machines, in which we have covered almost 75% of the chapter so far. So what did we see so far are what are machines, and then we looked into certain important terms: velocity ratio, mechanical advantage, efficiency, and then we learnt about levers, and you learnt about fixed pulley and movable pulley. Now we are going to move on to the next set of pulleys, that is combination of pulleys and block and tackle system.
Okay, now moving on to a combination of pulleys. So this combination could be in any ways, as I told you. You can have one fixed pulley and many movable pulleys, or everything could be movable pulleys, or everything could be fixed pulleys. So your combination could be in any ways. But here we are going to learn two types of combination. One is one fixed pulley and other movable pulleys, and the second one is several pulleys in two blocks. So you'll be seeing it next. Okay, now here you have one fixed pulley and many movable pulleys. Okay, here is our fixed pulley and these are all movable pulleys. How do we calculate mechanical advantage, velocity ratio and efficiency when it comes to a combination of pulleys? If you go back here, how did we calculate the load? The load is nothing but the sum of all the tensions. Similarly, we are going to do the same here. I want to find the value of the load. How will I find the load? The load is supported by two tensions. The load is supported by T1 and T1. These two tensions are supporting this load. This load is what we are trying to move. So this is our load. So don't consider all these as your load. Only this is our load. This load is being supported by T1 and T1. And both are acting in the upward direction, which is same direction. So what happens to my load? My load is nothing but the sum of both the tension. So L is equal to 2T1. What about my effort? We have to calculate the effort now. So in order to calculate the effort, we need to do certain previous calculation. As you can see, the tension T1 in the string passes over the pulley A. So this T1 is in pulley A. T2 in the string passes over the pulley B. So here, as you can see, 2T2 is equal to T1, which means this single T1 is supporting these two T2. Okay. So this T1 plus T1, this T2 plus T2 is equal to this T1. So I can say these two are supported by the single T1. So this single T1 is nothing but the combination of this and this. So I can say T2 plus T2 is equal to T1. Okay. So now again, if you see here, you can do the similar thing again. So we'll try that. This T2 is supporting this T3 and this T3. So the sum of T3 and T3 will give us our T2. Okay. So come back here. This T3 in the string passes over the pulley C and you can say 2T3 is equal to T2. So we say this T3, the single T3 is equal to A because as we saw earlier, effort we will see only this side. So I can say T3 is equal to E. Why do we do all these calculations? Because we have to bring both load and effort in terms of single T. Okay, all this effort and load should be in terms of T1 or T2 or T3. So that's what we are trying to do.
Okay children, as we saw in the picture, this load is being supported by 2T1. So I can write load is equal to 2T1. Similarly, this T1 is supported by 2T2. Both were acting in the upward direction. So since both were in the same direction, both T2s were in the same direction, I can call T2 is equal to T1 is equal to 2T2. Similarly, this T2 is supported by 2 T3. So, I can write this as L is equal to 2T1, T is equal to 2T2 and T2 is equal to 2T3. And as I told you, this T3 is the only effort, or we will consider only one T3 for effort, and it is acting in a downward direction. So these are the four equations which we have now. Now what do we want is, we have L in terms of T1 and E in terms of T3. So we want T3 in terms of T1 so that we will be able to calculate the mechanical advantage. Only when L and E are in single term, we can substitute it and find the value of mechanical advantage. So what I am going to do is, I am taking the second equation. That is T1 is equal to 2T2. So how can I write T2? I will simply take this side. So my T2 is equal to T1 by 2. Why am I doing this? Because I want to convert everything in terms of T1. So I am taking everything in terms of T1. T1 is nothing but T1. T2 is equal to T1 by 2. So we'll move on to the third equation. Our third equation says T2 is equal to 2T3. What is T2? T2 is equal to T1 by 2. This is what we got from the second equation. So I'm going to substitute this in the third equation. So I'm going to put T1 by 2 in this place of T2. So what will my equation become? My equation will become T1 by 2 is equal to 2T3. So now I have T3 in terms of T1. What is T3? I can cross multiply. So if this goes that side, T1 is equal to 4 times T3, or T3 is equal to 1 by 4 T1. Are you clear with this, or if you have any doubt, you just replay it and see, you will be able to understand. It's very simple. We took equation 2 and found the relation between T2 and T1, and we are substituting this in the third equation to find the relation between T3 and T1, and we found the relation, that is T3 is equal to 1 by 4 T1. So what are we going to do? We are going to substitute in the fourth equation. What is our fourth equation? Our fourth equation is E is equal to 1 by 4 T1. That is, effort is equal to T3 is what we learned earlier. That is, our equation was E is equal to T3. So in the place of T3, we are going to substitute this. If we do that, our equation becomes E is equal to 1 by 4 T1. So, if I cross multiply, 4E is equal to T1. What is the value of L? We know that load is equal to, L is equal to 2T1. So, if I know that, I will do it here. We know that L is equal to 2T1. What is the value of T1? T1 is equal to L by 2. T1 is equal to L by 2. We got this expression from load is equal to 2T1. And we also got an expression that 4E is equal to T1 earlier. So instead of T1, what I am going to do is I am substituting this L by 2. So 4E is equal to T1 now becomes 4E is equal to L by 2. If I cross multiply this L to the other side, it becomes 8E is equal to L. That is, 8 times effort is equal to the load. What is the formula for mechanical advantage? It is load by effort. So if I bring this down, my load by effort becomes 8. This 8 I can write it as 2 to the power 3. What is this 3? What does this mean? It means that there are 3 tensions involved in it.
that is T1, T2 and T3. When 3 tensions are involved, we get the mechanical advantage to be 2 to the power 3. What if we have 8 tensions involved? Then the mechanical advantage would be 2 to the power 8. So this I can write in simple way as 2 to the power n, and that n represents the number of tension that are involved in this particular combination of pulley. So the mechanical advantage increases as you increase the number of pulleys. So when you increase the mechanical advantage, what becomes very easy? Moving your object becomes very easy. Your mechanical advantage and velocity ratio will be the same. If your mechanical advantage is 2 to the power n, your velocity ratio will also be 2 to the power n, because I told you earlier the efficiency will always be 100%. So this is when with one fixed pulley and others are movable pulleys, and this is what you call it as a block and tackle system. In the case of a block and tackle system, this portion you have all fixed pulleys, this portion you have two fixed pulleys, but these two fixed pulleys can move up and down, and you have to move this load. So one end connected to a hook of the lower block. So here also we have two blocks and they are interconnected. So we call this as a block and tackle system of 5 pulley and block and tackle system of 4 pulley. That is the number of pulleys that are involved. And very similar to the previous session, here also we will be calculating the value for L and E in terms of L, and we will substitute. Okay, moving on to the block and tackle for 5 pulleys. So we have 5 pulleys involved, in which some are connected to the load and some are connected to the rigid support. But anyways, all these 5 pulleys are helping the load to move. So we'll call it as a block and tackle for 5 pulleys. So here this load, the load which is at the bottom, is being supported by 5 tensions. So when you look into the picture nearby, you'll be able to count the number of strings that are supporting the load. So the number of strings that are supporting the load are 5. So I can say load is being supported by 5 tension. So I can write the load as L is equal to 5T. What about the effort? Effort is nothing but only one tension which is acting downwards. So L is equal to T. We know the formula for mechanical advantage. MA is equal to L by E, load by effort. The value for load is 5T and the value for effort is T. So the mechanical advantage becomes 5. So see, in order to remember it easily, the block and tackle for 5 pulley, the mechanical advantage is 5. I'll give you a very easy way of finding the load. The number of pulleys is equal to load in the block and tackle system. So here the number of pulleys is 5. So when you have 5 pulleys, your load is going to be 5 times T. And your effort is always just T. Okay. So the relation between the load and the effort will be found, and you can find the mechanical advantage and the velocity ratio. So it is totally depends upon the number of pulleys. So your mechanical advantage will also be equal to the number of pulleys, and your velocity ratio will also equal to the number of pulleys. So your efficiency will be, of course, 100%. Similarly here in block and tackle system of 4 pulleys. Here again, as you can see, your load. You can tackle for 4 pulleys. Earlier we saw 5 pulleys. In 5 pulley, the load was supported by 5 tension. So L is equal to 5T. Here, in the case of 4 pulleys, L is equal to 4T, because the load is being supported by 4 strings. You can see in the picture and you can count the number of ropes that are supporting the load. So L is equal to 4T, and of course E is equal to T. No change in the effort. So if I have to find the mechanical advantage, MA is equal to load by effort, that is 4T by T. So my mechanical advantage is equal to 4. When I was using 5 pulleys, my load was 5T. When I am using 4 pulleys, my load is 4T. So I can generalize the
equation for load as L is equal to Nt, where this N indicates the number of strings that are supporting the load, or in simple I can say the number of pulleys that are involved in the system. So L is equal to Nt, where N is the number of pulleys that are involved in the system. Having seen the mechanical advantage, we are going to see the generalized form for velocity ratio for both 4 pulleys and 5 pulleys. So velocity ratio, we know the formula is dE by dL, the distance moved by the effort divided by distance moved by the load. If the load moves a distance d, the effort moves a distance nd, because there are n strings involved. If this moves 2 centimeter, all the strings have to move 2 centimeters. So our velocity ratio becomes nd by d. The d gets cancelled and Vr is equal to n. So what would be the velocity ratio of a block and tackle for 5 pulleys? Velocity ratio is 5. For the block and tackle for 4 pulleys, the velocity ratio will be 4. So in simple, I can say the mechanical advantage and the velocity ratio will be always equal. So this is another way in which you can remember it easily. For 5 pulleys, we saw that the mechanical advantage was 5 and the velocity ratio will also be 5. For 4 pulleys, the mechanical advantage was 4, the velocity ratio will also be 4. So if I happen to substitute this value for efficiency, efficiency is equal to n divided by n into 100, because velocity ratio and mechanical advantage are going to be the same. So my efficiency becomes 100%. So these are the derivations for block and tackle for 4 and 5.
Is 4T, because you have how many pulleys involved? 4 pulleys. Effort is always only T. So you have the value of load and you have the value for effort, like T is equal to L by 4, that is your E is equal to L by 4. So substitute it now. L is equal to L and E is equal to L by 4. When you substitute it, your mechanical advantage is 4. That's nothing but the number of pulleys involved. If your mechanical advantage is 4, your velocity ratio will also be 4. That is also the number of which is equal to the number of pulley involved. And efficiency is of course 100%. So to make it general, the load L is equal to N into T, where N is the number of pulleys involved and effort is always T. So when you substitute, your mechanical advantage is also equal to N and the velocity ratio is also equal to N. The effort that you put in moving the object gets multiplied n times, the number of pulley times. So the more number of pulley you use, the more easier your work is going to be and the better force multiplier the pulleys will act as. But in all the cases, the efficiency is always 100%. So here is a simple way to recollect what we learned. And these are the things which we learned now. The types of pulleys: fixed pulley, movable pulley, and a pulley system. In the case of a fixed pulley, our mechanical advantage is always 1, because it only helps in moving or changing the direction of effort. It does not make our force lesser. But in the case of a movable pulley, single movable pulley, the mechanical advantage is 2. So you only have to put half the effort which you did for a fixed pulley. When you come to a pulley system, the more pulley you add in, the easier your work will be. Now, I told you initially we are neglecting the friction between the pulley and the string, weight of the pulley and the weight of the string. Now, what will happen if we consider the weight of the pulley?
Start.
When we started with pulleys, we said that we are going to neglect 3 factors. Those are the weight of the pulley, the weight of the string, and the friction involved between the string and the pulley. But now what we are going to do is, we are going to consider one factor, the weight of the pulley, and we are going to see how the velocity ratio, mechanical advantage, and the efficiency are going to change if we involve one quantity which we neglected. Now,
We know that there are movable and fixed pulleys involved in the case of a block and tackle system, or in the case of a combination of pulleys. So what happens is, this fixed pulley, they does not involve any weight because they are being supported by a rigid support at the top. But these movable pulleys, they will put so much of weight on the, or their weight is being included to that of the load. So we are going to consider the weight of the pulley. So let's see what happens to the effort and the load. Initially we saw that effort is equal to T, load is equal to NT. But now what happens? Effort remains the same. There was no change in the effort. But in the case of load, I said that the weight of the pulley will combine with the load. So we had L is equal to NT. Now this L is being combined with the weight of the load. So L plus W is equal to NT. What is the value of L? If I take this W that side, I get a value for load. L is equal to NT minus W. N is the number of tension involved, or you can call it as the number of pulley, and T is the tension and W is the weight of the pulley. So now let's substitute in the formula. Mechanical advantage is equal to L by E. What is the value for L? L is equal to NT minus W. And we are going to put E as such. And let's solve this equation. So this equation NT minus W by E, this is the denominator. I'm going to divide this denominator to both the numerators. So I can write NT by E minus W by E. What is the value of E? The value of E is T. So if I substitute T here, this and this will get cancelled and my value become N minus W by E. So when we consider the weight of the pulley, the mechanical advantage was initially MA is equal to N, but now after considering the weight, there is a change in the mechanical advantage, and that is N minus W by E. That is the weight of the pulley divided by the effort. What happens to the velocity ratio? There is no change in the velocity ratio, it remains the same. In earlier case it was N, and now also it will be N. In earlier case the efficiency was 100%. Now what will happen to the efficiency? Definitely it will change because our mechanical advantage has changed. So let's substitute and see. We know that efficiency is equal to mechanical advantage by velocity ratio. What is my mechanical advantage? My mechanical advantage is N minus W by E. What is my velocity ratio? It is N. So similarly, if you divide the numerator for both, if you substitute the denominator for both the numerator, it would become N by N minus WE by N. So the N and N would get cancelled and you will get 1 minus W by NE. So what has happened in the efficiency? The efficiency decreases. So this is the efficiency of the actual machine. What we saw earlier as 100% is the efficiency of the ideal machine. It is only because we neglected certain factors. But if we include all the factors, we will get the efficiency of the actual machine, which is less than 100%. If we consider the weight of the pulley, especially in the case of movable pulley. In the case of movable pulley, what happens is the weight of the pulley will get added to that of the load. Fixed pulley, that's not a big deal because the pulley is fixed. Its weight doesn't matter. But when you are working with the movable pulleys, what happens? The weight of the load and the weight of the pulley, they add together. So what will happen? There is a reduction in the mechanical advantage. Earlier we saw the mechanical advantage is 1. But now what happens to the mechanical advantage? It becomes that N minus W by 2. If your N is 5, your W by 2 would be something like 1. So initially, if you are not considering the weight of the pulley, your mechanical advantage is 5. But if you are considering the weight of the pulley, your mechanical advantage is 5 minus 1, that is 4. This is the actual machine. This is what is really happening. the mechanical advantage is less than the ideal value. So whatever we work on is not the ideal machine, they are all actual machines with a mechanical advantage, velocity ratio, and efficiency less than what we expect. But greater the efficiency, the better. So for greater efficiency, what we can do is the pulley in the lower block should be as light as possible. That is, the movable pulleys should be very less in weight. So when you reduce the weight of the movable pulley, you will not get into the ideal machine, but at least the loss of force, the loss of energy can be tackled. It could be minimized. The other ways to minimize this loss of efficiency is by reducing the friction, by applying some lubricants or by using some bearings.
I have explained each of the topic twice for your better understanding. So make sure that you understand it well, especially the derivation part of each topic. Okay, children, with this we are coming to the end of the chapter. So we are completing chapter 3 now. Machines is over. So initially in the previous session, we learnt about machine, we learnt about the three class of levers and their examples, and we also learnt about fixed pulley and movable pulley, and now you learnt about compound and block and tackle method. So here when it comes to pulley alone, the topics that we have covered are fixed pulley, movable pulley, compound pulley, and block and tackle. Okay? Make sure you go through the video again and again. Try your best to understand the topic, and I appreciate those who call me and clear your doubts. And I also encourage others to try your best to understand. And if you can't, you can very well come to me for help. And many of you have submitted your classwork for chapter 1 and chapter 3, and I want you to finish it till what we have completed. And you know how to submit your classworks. Go to Google Classroom, join class, enter the class code and join the class, and then submit your notes in the place of the assignment. This is the class code, and here comes your marks for the one word test which you have written. Only 24 students have attended the test. So out of 24, in this list, it would show 25 because one person wrote the test twice, and I deleted this second attempt because I know here, as you can see your timestamp, I know which is your first attempt and which is your second attempt. So I will know every detail of yours, and I deleted the second attempt and only the first attempt is included here. So far only 24 students have finished your test. The time is barred and you cannot write the test again. So for those who missed, I simply cannot give you any mark. I have a very similar chart for your assignment as well. Your assignment mark is also entered and they are recorded. So make sure to do your assignments, to do your classwork, and then to attend the test that are given. I really appreciate so many students who did the test so well. Bavadarni has scored full mark. It's not about scoring 30 out of 30. It's about giving your best. I appreciate each one of you who have given your full effort and who have scored good. So children, see you in the next session. Make sure that you submit your assignment. Your scores are recorded.